Hey, it's Todd the Dirt Man, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Dirty with the Dirt Man. And what we are doing today is dirty brisket. That is why I'm so fired up, because we are actually doing a beautiful brisket today. So let's get started. Here's all the ingredients that we have. We've got all the Todd's Dirts that I would say are really good on brisket. We're going to be doing the Salty Sailor today and the Lowdown today instead of the original and the Bayou. Either one of these make a fabulous bark, work really great on the brisket, but I'm telling you right now, the new Salty Sailor is phenomenal on brisket. It's a Texas style barbecue rub. Not only does it have a nice coarse salt, also it has a nice big sea salt, a lot of pepper, all the basics that you would see in a Texas rub. It's got the garlic powder, onion powder, but it's got a lot of other goodies. A little bit of heat, a lot of goodness, and it's just fabulous. And then the original, which I would normally use here, is phenomenal as a bark also and added flavor, but I don't need any more salt. So this is one of the key parts of using the Lowdown, which we rarely ever talk about, is our salt-free original dirt. It's exactly the same as the original, just salt-free. So I'm gonna get all the goodness of all the herbs that's in this with this. It's really gonna add a nice bark, and then we're gonna add a whole lot of flavor. This brisket is actually cut very well. My butcher did a really nice job. One of the reasons why I like using a butcher. When we're cutting this, you only want about 1/4 inch of fat. That's about as much as you really want on top to render. This thing is actually beautiful. There's a couple spots that we are gonna take care of, and I'll show you how to do it. So let's get on the gloves, just because I like to wear the gloves when I'm dealing with raw meat a lot of times. Uh-oh. Is it time? I can feel it. Dr. Dirtman in the house. All right, so here we go. We're gonna get some of this fat off. All right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of this off, just to kind of make sure all the fat is even on the meat. Now we're getting to the injection. We're gonna use beef broth out of a can, out of a box. If you've got homemade stuff, that works even better. We're also gonna use a little bit of garlic. Fresh garlic works even better than this stuff. And then we also have the two rubs here. We're gonna use the Salty Sailor and the Lowdown in there. We're gonna mix it all up. We're gonna let it sit for about a half an hour after letting it rest to infuse. Here comes Dr. Dirtman. You ready for your shot? All right, now we got the marinade. Now, what I've done is I've strained this out. I got rid of I tried to strain out the garlic and some of the seasonings so it'll be easier to inject. I have a beautiful injector right here. I love it. I think I bought this on Amazon or a barbecue store. I really don't remember where I got it. You can find one at a barbecue store, Amazon, online, whatever you decide to choose. So now I'm gonna pull this, get some injection. All right, now Dr. Dirtman's gonna get to work. So what you want to do is we're going to do different parts all throughout the brisket in here. What you're going to do is you're going to stick it in, move it around a little bit to create a little bit of a pocket, and then inject. Now we're going to get in here. Woo! You got a geyser there. Let's talk about injection. Do you really need to inject when you're doing a brisket? No, you do not. But if you really want a consistent brisket that's definitely going to be juicy, each brisket is different. So one cook today could be different than the next time. So you want to make sure if you're going to get a consistent brisket that's definitely going to be juicy inside, the injection does help a lot. You also want to save about half of this injection fluid. We're going to use that when we take the brisket off for the first time and wrap it. Right in the wrapping time, we're going to put that on the bottom. All right, now we're going to rub this beautiful brisket. I've got a little extra virgin olive oil. Do you really need extra virgin olive oil or any olive oil to keep the rub on here? I would say 50-50 on that, and whether you need it or not. I just love olive oil. I've talked to many barbecue guys all over the country, And some do, some don't. You don't need a whole lot on here. I just love olive oil. All right, now we're gonna put the lovely Salty Sailor. Now look at this. Now this is one beautiful rub that took me over 10 years to come out with a barbecue rub that I thought could really stand out on its own. There's so many good barbecue rubs that are out there. This is fabulous. It's got plenty of good coarse salt. Look at the peppers. It's got some herbs in there also. And just press down into it. And now we're going to use the lowdown just for a little added. Ooh. Kidding, there's no salt in here. It's not as easy as it looks. I'm sure it doesn't look easy. Getting dirty. I love getting dirty. Let that sit for an hour and then we'll take it right on outside. All right, now we've moved outside. We're gonna be using the big green egg to actually use as our smoker today. This is very universal, so you can use it as a direct grill. You can also use it as a smoker where it's more indirect because there's an infuser in here that you put it in. It's called a plate setter, and what it does is it deflects the heat from the outside, and it kind of works as a convection oven, which works really nice. We're going to be putting some wood chips, and we're also going to be doing some chunks. We've got some pecan and some apple, and then I've got this with the chips, that's pecan chips and apple chips mixed in together. You can use any kind of wood that you want. This is a very mild, flavorful wood. It works really well with it. And then we're going to put it inside, and then we're going to put the meat on. We're going to put the wood all the way around the edges, so that we'll get to it later on after we're about to cook. And this will start the smoking part. This will start immediately. All right, we got the wood in. It's already set up for indirect cooking, and now we're going to put the meat on. This is about a 5.5 pound brisket. It takes roughly hour and a half per pound. So we're probably looking at 7 to 10 hours. You really never know with a brisket. That's part of the problem. They've got their own mind. They take their own time, almost like pulled pork, pork shoulder. It takes a long time. You really never exactly know. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on 225, 250. I'm probably gonna keep it at 250 degrees. You can do this in the oven. I failed to mention that. You can do the same exact thing. You're just not gonna get all the smoke. So here we go. Ready to go? Get ready for the money shot. And it's time to get dirty. Oh yeah. All right, so now we're getting the brisket. We are gonna put the fat side down. Let that render in there like that. Look how pretty that thing looks. Oh yeah, look at all the good smoke, and let's close it up. Now, we're gonna come back to this in about 4 hours, probably 4.5 hours. We'll wrap it. During that wrapping process, we're gonna take some of that injection fluid, that marinade that we put together. We're gonna put that on the bottom, and I'll show you that once we open it up. So we're gonna let this sit. Do not look at it. 4.5 hours, we'll see you back. Hey, it's been 4.5 hours. The brisket has been cooking. We've just kind of been waiting around for it. Let's check it out. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, look how pretty that bad boy is. Look at that bark on there. It's got a that actually is not a mahogany flavor. It's got a nice dark bark. I've got my gloves on. I'm putting on here. Look how pretty. Look at all the juices that are coming out of that bad boy. Whew. All right. Now we're gonna wrap this thing up. So what I have here is I have some of that good injection juice that we were using to kind of marinate. And I'm gonna put this right here on the bottom. Actually, I should curl this up a little bit. Put a bit on top. All right, now we're closing this thing up. We wanna make it sure it's nice and tight. One thing that we want to be very clear on here is we do not want this to steam. So we want it as tight as we can get it. Because steam will ruin the bark. As always, the Dirt Man is not very dainty, even with tinfoil. All right, now we're gonna put this right back on. All right, now we're gonna put the probe right here in the middle of the meat. Gonna stick it in there about halfway. All right, so now I'm gonna close this thing up and we're gonna check. We're gonna wait till it gets to reach about 204 degrees, then we're gonna check for that jiggle a little bit, because you want your meat to have that jiggle feel. That's when you know it's the fibers are really broken down and the meat's gonna be really good. So we'll check back in a couple hours. I'm guessing probably about another 3-4 more hours. All right, as you can see, the temperature is done. The brisket says it's done. We'll see. This one had definitely its own mind. Almost every brisket I've done usually takes a little bit longer than normal. This one actually is shorter. We're actually done 45 minutes early. You can see the temp went up to about 311. I raised it up a little bit just so we could get this thing done a little bit sooner. So let's check this thing out. All right, now we got the brisket off. Let's check this bad boy out. See what the temp is like. See what it is. So again, we want to, man, look how pretty that looks. Oh, goodness gracious. See the mahogany color on there? You got some of the bark. Look at the juices in there. Oh my God, that's gonna be amazing. I think we're gonna try to make some burnt ends on here also. So let's check this. Remember, we want a jiggle test. Jiggle it just a little bit. Let's try it out. So it should go in just like a cake. Like a toothpick going into a cake to test it. Oh, look at that. Look how easy that is going in there. Oh yeah, that's what I like. We're getting dirty tonight for dinner, and we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna put it in a cooler. I'm gonna use an old towel, wrap that up in here. We're gonna wrap it all back up, keep the juices in there, and then we'll check it out in about an hour or so. Okay, now we're gonna open up this beautiful package. It's almost like Christmas Day as I'm like a kid. Can't wait to see what this looks like after been sitting for an hour and a half. So total cook time was about 6.5 hours. A little weird, as I said, every brisket has its own little mind of its own. It usually takes anywhere between an hour and a half. I cooked this right between 250. I did raise the temperature up to about 300. And let's take a look at it and see what it looks like. Can't wait. Oh yeah, look how beautiful that is. And look at the jiggle. See how that jiggles? That's exactly what we're looking for. Oh yeah, look at the beautiful juices that are in there. That's some real goodness right there. You definitely want to save that. All right, now we're gonna slice this, see how it comes out. Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna be pretty. So this is the big key over here. When this is slapping together like that, and you see the greens, let's see how it does with the pull test. Oh, look how nice and easy. Oh my goodness. When you have a brisket that comes out with individual strands like that, that's what I'm talking about. That is a really good brisket. I can't wait, I gotta taste it. Oh my goodness. Oh. The beefy flavor with the spices and the salty sailor. Oh, wow, I'm sorry. Dirt Man's dancing. Dirt Man's grooving. That's called a dirty brisket. Cooked perfectly on a beautiful green egg. Again, remember, you can do that in the oven. No difference. You're just gonna lose a little bit of the smoke on there. And it's just, oh my God, it's phenomenal. You're just gonna love it. Okay, I'm about to do some burn ends. I actually have my dog, all right, Striker. Striker wants some. I have a little beautiful dog. He even wants some burnt ends on here. So what I did was I went ahead and cubed right in here. We're gonna put this in here and right in the au jus. We're gonna mix that up a little bit. See that? Oh my goodness. This is gonna be absolutely phenomenal. Some of that with the burnt ends. Now I'm gonna use a sauce that I like. This is called Southern Bells. I love Southern Bells, know the owner very well. We do lots of shows and festival together. This is a really nice sauce. You can use any sauce that you want. All you gotta do is just drizzle a little bit on over the meat. Just like that. We're gonna mix that up. And then what you can do with this is you can put this right on in the oven at 325 degrees for 15 minutes or a grill, and then we'll check it out and see what it looks like. All right, we got everything out now. We've got our slices. We got our burnt ends that we just got finished. Oh my goodness, just look at it. Look at the juice that's on here. Everything just breaks down just perfectly. This is not a quick meal, but so worth it. We use the Salty Sailor, which is a Texas-style barbecue rub that is phenomenal, and the lowdown. It all came out really well. So please do me a favor, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, and please subscribe. We're gonna have lots more videos coming. So I really hope you enjoyed this dirty recipe with the dirty brisket. And remember, it's always a good time to get dirty.